Hey guys, I am here in Knoxville, Tennessee with an old friend, Zakai Zeigler, and we're here to tell a little bit of a story. Zakai's story. And it's so amazing how this athlete, where he's come from in high school, not having any offers, his summer of his senior year, to now being selected Defensive Player of the Year in the SEC. Zakai, thanks for taking some time. It's unbelievable to see you again. It's amazing how we were talking before, where you said you came to the Parisi Speed School in Long Island. Your cousin came there, Tobias. Tell us about that experience, and tell us about your experience growing up in basketball, and what that was like. I remember you telling me you're running the subways, you're running up buildings. Just go through that childhood to kids that might be watching this that look up to you as their hero. Right. Tell them it wasn't all roses.
No, not at all. Well, really, I didn't like basketball at first. Like, my mom, she forced me to play in a way, because I was not big time football player, but that's what I loved. Like, all my cousins played football, and that's just really what I was into. And then football, football season ends, and my mom was just like, hey, you got to do something, so it's time, like, we signed you up for something. And she just always wanted me to keep me active. Like, she just don't want me to sit at home, because I was never to sit at home, play video games type, but she just always wanted me to be active, see what I like. So she signed me up for basketball, and I just started bawling my eyes out. I'm like, no, I don't want to play like this.
And how old were you at this point?
I was probably about 7 or 8.
Okay, so you were young.
Yeah, I was young.
So when did you come to the Parisi Speed School in Long Island? When was that?
I was probably about 5. My first time going.
Wow.
I was probably about like 5.
Right,
Yeah, I was probably
so
like 5 years
really
old.
young. Holy cow! Wow.
And it started because I seen my cousins, and I saw guys like Tobias going. I was like, man, I want to be like that. Like, cause they was getting all the glory, or like everybody knew who they was, and I'm like, all right, this is what goes into it. I want to do that too. Like,
so you looked up to him.
Yeah,
he was going. He went all through high school, right?
Yeah. Tobias, I always would see Tobias there all the time, and it would be times that I would go to Parisi, I would go to the gym, and then maybe my sister or something would go to Parisi later on, and she'd be like, yeah, I saw Tobias there. And I was like, man, he was there earlier. Like, he still, like, he went back again. Yeah, he was going back. But I saw he used to put a lot of work in there. A lot of work in there.
So now you're growing up, you're playing football, you started basketball. Tell us about that high school experience and, freshman year and how you got to IC,
Well, really, my freshman year, I was in Long Island, and, the competition, it was okay, but it was really it wasn't what I needed, because I was doing whatever I wanted out there, and I wasn't really getting any exposure really. I would go to the city sometimes and play, and people knew who I was, but they didn't really. Once the season started, they didn't hear about me because it wasn't really the best exposure. So I ended up going to school in Jersey. I went to Immaculate Conception with Coach Jim, and my first year there, it wasn't. I really didn't play too much my freshman year. I mean, my first year there. And nobody really knew who I was a little bit. And then that summer, I played EYBL a little bit, and it was okay. I did all right. Like, it wasn't anything crazy. Like, I didn't have the best year, I didn't have the worst year. It was just like, I was just a solid player.
And then how did you find Jersey? Because I remember that year 15 you played my son Will for Coach Battle, right? Right?
Yeah, that's how exactly. I had a connection with a friend in Long Island, and they was telling me about an AAU team, because I was playing with just a local team in Long Island. There was nobody crazy, and that's when the firm had first started.
Yes, right.
And well, no, not when they had first started. I had played with the firm a year before that.
Right.
I was younger, but I had played up, and it was a big Vegas tournament. We had all win to, and I played pretty good, and I was playing a year up. So it was like, all right, yeah, like
sure,
let's bring them back. And then once I came back, then we started talking about how to get me more exposure, because I was pretty good, but I just didn't have any looks or anything like that. I was being overlooked. And Jersey, it was a lot more competition, a lot more people to go at in my eyes. Like, I was seeing guys with all these offers, and I'm like, oh, they're in New Jersey. If I play against them, I got to be coaches there.
Yeah. So you're there, you play with the firm, then you go to IC. Now you're in high school. You're playing AAU. You go through your high school career. It's your senior year. You have no offers, no looks. You're in the summer of your senior year now. Now, I need everyone to understand this. This guy was in the summer of his senior year, no offers.
No, none.
And then you get on the Lightning, right?
Yep. I played for Actually, it was a COVID year that year.
Yeah.
And I played a match with IC, and
That's right. It was the COVID year because you played against Bosco.
Yeah.
Yeah, you lit us up. I was at that. It was played against my son at Bosco. Dylan was a freshman that year.
Yep.
He lit us up. Dylan Harper was a freshman. So you lit us up that year. I remember that because it was COVID. Only a few people in the stands.
Only a few people.
Yep.
I remember it was the 15 games.
15 games. And you had no offer still.
None.
Right.
And I had a really good year. It's crazy, that year I won County Player of the Year.
That's right.
And I did.
That's right.
I had a really good year. Then still didn't have anything. But I had the chance to be able to play one more year. I had left and went to Iowa State Lutheran in the Bronx. And that's how I got connected. I was always connected with the New York Lightning guys because I'm from New York, and they pretty much seen me grow up in a way. Like, even though I was playing with teams in New Jersey,
right,
or like just playing in the city, they always saw me. And then I remember I was speaking to the coach, and he was just telling me, like, hey, if you get on this team, like, we're gonna get you something. Like, you're gonna get into school, some
exposure.
We're gonna get
you.
you.
So your senior year summer. Now you're playing AAU on the Lightning, EYBL.
Yep.
Tell us about that Magic tournament.
Yeah, man, it was crazy. I remember because that was the COVID, like, EYBL Peace Jam tournament.
Yeah. And that hurt you too because of COVID. Like everything, there was not a lot going on.
It wasn't, and usually Peace Jam is like maybe a few days to a week.
Yeah.
And we was there for 2 weeks long.
Wow.
And the first week it was just a regular session. The second week was Peace Jam. But my first game we played against Scholars, and it was DJ Wagner, McKenzie. He now goes to Indiana. It was a bunch of high major players. And I had a really good game. We won the game, and my coach told me, he's like, hey, yo, your life about to change. You don't even know it. And I was like, man, I still don't got an offer. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
No offer.
None.
Anybody calling you?
None. St. Peter's had called me.
St.
Peter's had called me. He offered me, and he said, commit right now. And I was like, man, I'm not committing. Like it's about to be.
So you held out. So you had one offer, St. Peter's, and you decided. You said,
what
what made you hold out? Like, what made you? Because
it was right before the live period. And he told me, he's like, commit now, or like we're gonna have to like move on, go look for somebody else. It's Coach Holloway.
So you bet on yourself.
Yeah, I definitely bet on myself. I bet on myself big time. And it was a big risk. And that happened again with Bryant University. They had both offered me, and it was like, but you gotta commit now, or we taking it away. And I'm like, yeah, like no disrespect, but y'all could keep it. Like I know what I'm capable of. I know what I could do. And it's not downplaying the programs,
but that's perseverance.
Yeah.
Go ahead, keep telling us.
And I took that risk, and then time go on, and it was the second to last day before playoffs of the Peace Jam, and we played against. I remember the game before my second to last. I went to go get the ball, and me and my teammates bumped heads, and my whole like up here split open. I had to get stitches, so I had to leave the game early. And that was another game that Tennessee was at, but I didn't know. They was looking at a player that we was playing against. And I'm like, man, I got to get in this game because the guard we was playing against was pretty good. He was highly ranked. I'm like, yo, I got to get back. Just put a Band-Aid over it. Come on. But I started getting a little lightheaded, so they had ran me to the ER, and I got about 8 stitches, I believe. It was eight stitches on the inside and then 4 on the outside. So I had 12 stitches.
I never knew that.
Yeah, I had to go get stitches. And then right after I got stitches, we had another big game. We played against Team Final. They had Jalen Duran, Derek Lively,
Team
like all
Final.
these.
Oh yeah.
They had all these pros on the team, like now pros and a lot of high major players. And I'm like, yo, I don't care about nothing. Just put a Band-Aid over this. Like I'm ready to hoop. Like I'm trying to change my life right now. And I remember it was probably every coach in the country in there. It was NBA teams there. First quarter, I had 5 threes in a row. Place was going crazy. It was jumping. Carmelo Anthony was there. That's when I got cool with Carmelo. Yeah. It was everybody was there. The whole piece, like everybody in Peace Jam was in the gym watching, and I just went crazy. The game ended, and I'm still a little bit down. Like I was happy I played well. I ended the game probably like 23-10.
Wow.
And I was super excited, but I'm like, man, I still don't got an offer. Like nothing changed. Like I did that and nothing happened. I was sitting down. My mom called me. I hung up. And then my phone just started blowing up. I remember school just started calling me. And that night I probably got, I think, eight or 9 offers.
Wow.
And I'm like, man, my life just changed just like that. Then the next day we ended up losing to a really good team. Now it was Bradville Elite. They had Nick Smith, Brandon Miller, Jeremy Fierce. They had a lot of good players on their team. And, we lost, but it was like I got a few more offers after that game. And then time go on. It was about a month after, it was about like 2 or 3 weeks after, Tennessee, Coach Schwartz had texted me, on Instagram, and I thought it was fake because we was talking off camera, and there was a trend going on. People was calling you saying there was schools, and it was.
Yeah, you told me you got faked a couple of times with calls. You were getting a little upset about that.
Yeah, it was fake. So
fake calls.
So I waited, let it sit there. And I looked up Coach Schwartz's name, and I'm like, oh, like this is a real coach.
You were worried about calling back, but when you found that out, right? You were like, oh.
I saw it was real, so I was like, all right, I'm about to text him back right now, shout out my number. And then probably about a week and a half, a week or 2 weeks later, I spoke a couple times, and I got the offer. I came on my visit, and the rest is history.
The rest is history. So I want to. That was amazing, and that's a story. For all the kids watching out there, all the hoopers, all the athletes, football, whatever, soccer, lacrosse, whatever your aspirations, man, just don't give up on your dreams, right? And you were at a point you were thinking about it, and we sometimes we think about it. You know, people will think. You're allowed to think about it, but don't give up on your dreams.
Don't give up at all. Don't give up at all.
So now you come to Tennessee, right? Your official height is 5'8".
5'8 3/4,
Right.
5'9". That's without shoes, so I'm 5'9".
Okay. See, to me, that's even more impactful, right? What you've done here at Tennessee. Walk us through your experience at Tennessee. We're going to talk to Coach G in a few minutes here. You know, I remember my son describing you playing. It's like you're like this super quick fire hydrant that is so strong on the court, like just so strong, and your ability to post up, and you can see that now. You're playing, Defensive Player of the Year. Walk us through your career so far at Tennessee, your experience there, the training with Coach G. Like, tell us about that whole experience.
It was. I mean, it was really. At first, it was different because it was a lot. I'm coming from high school. I didn't lift weights. All I did was push-ups, pull-ups, dips, like calisthenics, like stuff that only I could do without weights. And I remember actually my teammate Santi, he gave me my welcome to moment college. And I know Coach G remember this. It was because I came late. I came later than all the other freshmen. I came about a couple months later. I got here in September. Everybody usually gets in around June, or some guys
you did come late. Wow.
I came super late,
Yeah.
and so everybody, some guys got their body a little bit better, gained some weight a little bit. I didn't have anything. I came in probably 140 soaking wet. I was lightweight.
Wow.
And remember, I was driving the ball. And Santi had bumped me, and Santi was a really strong guy. He might have not been the tallest, but he was a strong guy. And he had bumped me, and I went to turn, and they're like, yo, everybody stop playing. I'm like, what you doing? And I was out of bounds. Like, he was so strong, and he bumped me. I was like, man, after that, I went to Coach G. I'm like, yo, like, this can't happen again. Like, I can't go. I thought I had some muscle on me. I was like, nah, we gotta.
What did you weigh at that time?
140, maybe.
140
playing
in Tennessee. What do you weigh now?
$170.
$170. So unbelievable
and
program.
And this summer I gained what was it, 8 pounds of muscle? Yeah, 8 pounds of muscle. I've done a really good job with my body. But that was definitely my welcome to college moment when I showed me that I need to get in the gym more.
No doubt. And you got in the gym with Coach G, and talk to us about that training. His approach, how he uses these different tools like the Viper. I remember we were talking about it when I called you a couple months ago. What that experience was like and what it does to your body, because we're really unpacking fascia training, right? And I bring up your name a lot, and your coach was at a seminar I was giving. I was at a high performance basketball summit. We FaceTimed you, and I mentioned how strong you are, and Coach G being such a pioneer in basketball strength coaching with Coach Todd Wright and some of these guys out there. And you really exemplify this, what we call this pulsing strength, this ability to create your body to be a statue of steel in moments of time. In like milliseconds, you become like a statue of steel. And, you are really strong. Tell us about what you're thinking about, your training around that, how you get your body to be so strong and brace so strong to post people up at 175.9. And just do what you do on the court and be Defensive Player of the Year in the SEC at 5'9". How does that happen?
Right. Really, I would just say the work that's being put in. Coach G, he's always there for us. Like, whenever we want to get in the gym or something, all you got to do is shoot him a text or give him a phone call, and he's there. Or if he can't be there, he'll send you like a whole thing on a full workout. Because for the most part, like we know what to do, but he'll send you a whole workout of what to do and how to do it. If you got questions, he'll send you a video and show you like the correct way, correct movements. But really, the Vipers is really good for me because it gives you like a I'm like a city boy, so I'm not a farm boy. But those niggas, they give you like a farm boy strength. That's what it's almost like. And, like,
It's funny that you say that because we actually say that all the time.
That's
It's
what
funny,
it is.
ironically.
It's like a farm boy strength.
Yeah.
It's like all these. I remember I didn't notice how hard it really was until I worked out with my cousin one day. Coach G, I went back home to New York. Coach G had sent me a workout.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, let's do this workout. Blah, blah, blah. My coach had sent it to me. And he's like, man, what you got me doing? We was doing all these rotations like with the weights. And it was without the Viper, but it was with lighter weights. And I'm like, man, it's not that hard. And all these, like, you work in muscles like you don't really think about.
Yep.
Like, you might turn this way, and you might not work this muscle as much, but using a Viper, it hits every muscle, every possible way, and all these movements, it gives you the proper training and proper strength that you need.
Yep.
But also, when I tore my ACL,
Yeah.
it was like a lot of like, why did I do it? Is it I wasn't as strong in this part of my body, or was it my hip, my knee, my calf? Like,
Right.
we never know. It was my foot, maybe even. So we would put myself back in, not in the position that I tore it, but it was like, let me get this rotation. So if I do get back put in this position, my body is already used to it. Like, it knows how strong.
Yep.
Like, I got all the proper muscle and everything. So
Yep.
all the training that we do for us is pretty much for every single part of our body. Like,
Yeah.
it's like whenever we get hurt, I always wonder, or even if I tell Coach G, like, hey, I'm sore in this spot, like, why is that? What do you think? And he'll tell me, oh, it's because we just did this new training movement, and it might have got you a little bit sore,
Sure.
but that's good. That is because that means you're working the proper part of your muscles.
Yeah. Well, I mean, your story and the gains you've made as an athlete and as a basketball player, and the most important thing, you're an incredible person. You really are. I mean, your core values, what you stand for, your commitment to your teammates, how you lead, everything about you is at the highest level. So people sometimes may only see your tenacity on the court. They don't know your tenacity as a friend, your tenacity as a person to help others. Like, you really are, man, from the first day I met you as a 15-year-old, and then, working with the guys up in Long Island when you were younger. But, the reality of it is that just, continues to show. To kind of wrap up, what would you say to younger kids watching this? What message would you give to them?
I would really say just bet on yourself and know whatever you feel in your heart is right to do. That's what you should do. And as whatever it is, it could be basketball, baseball, football. You could want to be a journalist, an artist, no matter what it is. If you work hard on whatever your craft is and work at it every single day and use your tools to get better, not only for you, but for those around you. If you want to get in the gym, you might not be shooting, but you might be rebounding. Just little things like that can help you out, because you can see how other people work out, and you can see like, oh, I didn't know this could help my game out, or this could help my craft out. Just being right to those around you and working as hard as you can, it'll change your life. And just make sure you're betting on yourself at all times.
Here's a guy that lived it. Here's a guy that went through challenges. He's now at University of Tennessee, one of the top players in the country, future NBA player. It's all going to be, he's going down that road of tenacity, and that's the next vision, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how can it not be, right?
Yeah,
I mean, in
true.
terms of what you've done and where you're going, the training you're getting from Coach G, and I had an incredible experience, with the coaches today, and sharing best practices and looking at the facilities and looking at the training, and kind of just was blown away. What you're doing, what your program is doing, is so advanced, than anything else out there, from a fascia connective tissue training and building this, what we call pulsing strength, right? The ability to become a statue of steel in moments of time where they can't move you,
Right.
and you're stronger. I know you told me on the Zoom call, when you're playing against these guys 6'4", 6'5", you're bumping them. They're like, yo, right? What are they saying to you during the game, right?
We had a game like that this year.
What happened? Tell us that real quick story where they're like, this 5'8" guy, they think they're gonna just.
Yeah, no, it was. I remember we played against Illinois, and their whole team, their average height for their team is probably 6'6", 6'5".
6'5".
Yeah, and
wow.
they got a really big team. Their point guard, I think, was 6'7".
Wow.
And Coach Barnes is like, hey, they're gonna try to post you up. Like, I don't know, because some teams do, but some teams don't. So I was prepared for it, and mentally does something to me when people try to post me up because I know I'm small and that's what it looks like. That's what the best advantage would be. But it like got me angry and that's when all my strength really does come out. And I remember like I was like, I'm telling them, pass the ball in. I'll let you catch it. Go post up.
You told him that during the game.
I tell everybody that. Go post up. I'll let you catch the ball and see what you do. I'll just let them bump me in my chest. We do it every day in practice too. Like we go and post up on the other end, guards and bigs. We play one-on-one, and so just those guys going at me, it prepares me for those moments like when we played against other teams. Because our guys on our team, they're doing the same training as me. So they're solid.
Strong.
Everybody's solid.
Yeah.
So just being able to play against those guys every day too, it prepares me for those moments because I know the other teams aren't as strong as us.
Yeah. I will say this though, the one thing that people got to remember, this training, the Viper training, fascia training is important. Yeah. Zakai's dialed in. The other thing that he said that you got to own, that tenacity, that killer. Telling these guys 6'5", 6'6", come on, I'll give you the ball. Get the ball. Let's go. Like, let's tango. Here we go. Right?
Yep.
So that mental drive, that tenacity is another secret to success. So you can't say, okay, I did all this training. I'm going to go out there. I think I'm strong. You got to have a switch.
Yeah, no, you definitely got to have some fire to you. You can't just be, I did this workout, I did this training. Like, it should help me out. Like, no, it don't work like that. You gotta have some type of fire to you. I would say a different word, but I can't really say it.
Yeah.
You gotta have something to you to get by.
Yeah, well, you have it. You show it every day in practice. I hear feedback from coach that no one is more of a dog than you. Like, it's not just it's every practice, and it's every minute in every practice. That's the feedback I'm getting. It's every minute, every practice. And I'll say this. When you train like a dog every minute in every practice, or when you practice hard like that, you're actually training your system. You're getting stronger from that. You're getting mentally stronger. Your body is working at a higher level of contraction and co-contractions by always, going in there and playing so hard. Now your body adapts to that.
Right.
So if you just go in and just play hard every once in a while, or you have a 2-hour practice and you play hard maybe an hour of it or an hour and 15, not the full 2 hours, you're not getting the most. And that's why your progress and your upside, it's going to keep going like this.
Yep. Yes,
that's
sir.
why, because you just don't stop. And that's the message to athletes out there that really want to take their game to the next level. Zakai Zeigler, I'm so proud of you, man. It's been an unbelievable journey that you've been on. I'm honored to be just with you here and associated and had the opportunity to do some best practice sharing with your coaches and just see you and looking forward to seeing you train tomorrow and getting after it. But yeah, big year this year, senior year, and a lot of great things coming.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you.
Thank you,
so
brother.
much.
Appreciate it.